Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kamisha Roy, and today I am delivering a speech on a difficult topic. The topic I'm going to speak on today is not an easy one. As a matter of fact, while preparing my speech, I began to ask myself why I picked this topic. I selected this topic because it was a recent discussion on the news, and it's been a reoccurring event or issue in our society. But it's still a hard topic to research because it forced me to deal with my own feelings. It was a blunder on my part that led to a wonderful new revelation for me. Today, I am proud to speak on the issue of transgender. More specifically, today I will be speaking about transgender children. I hope to persuade you today to change your beliefs and attitudes towards transgender children. My expectation is that when you leave here today, you will accept, if not be understanding, to children of transgender. Now, I want to clarify what we're talking about today. Today, we're not talking about the gay man that identifies himself as a male that likes men. And today, we're not talking about the lesbian woman who identifies herself as a woman that likes women. Today, we're talking about transgender children. And what's the difference, you might ask? Transgender is defined by Web for Health as people who are assigned a gender, usually at birth, based on their genitals, but who feel that this is a false or incomplete description of themselves. Children who were assigned a gender at birth, but feel this is a false description of themselves. Transgender children affirm that the gender they are is opposite to the gender assigned at birth. The American Psychiatric Association recognizes gender identity disorder as a psychiatric disorder that involves significant distress or impairment in functioning. Now think about that for a moment. An innocent young child new to the world with significant distress and impairment in functioning. Children who are otherwise fully functioning are suffering. And for what? What do we do when under significant distress? We try to find solutions. For transgender children, the most rational solution is to live as the gender they know in their minds that they are. But society says, not so fast. According to society, there is no easy answer. If you agree with this statement, I ask you to consider that maybe the reason there is no easy answer is because the answer is not yours. Last month, 7-year-old Bobby Montoya asked to join the Girl Scouts. The local troop leader said, it doesn't matter how he looks, he has boy parts and can't be allowed to join the Scouts. This is discrimination. There is a repeated pattern of discrimination and hate against transgender people. FBI data shows 14 hate crimes occur each day against people who are labeled as gay. Churches explicitly argue that anything outside of heterosexuality is a sin. Transgender students are teased, bullied, and even cast aside by teachers. Let's face it, parents don't want their children around transgender kids for fear that it will rub off on their own children. Even our music expresses our disgust. What a world. It's big enough to support 7 billion people, but there is no place in this world for transgender children, and this is wrong. So what are transgender children to do? The question should be, what are we to do? It's time to adopt more inclusive ways of working that are capable of delivering both sexual health entitlement and an effective start in life to transgender children. The Girl Scouts released a statement stating that it is an all-inclusive organization and that Bobby Montoya can, in fact, join if he wants to. And I agree. It's time to include these children. Imagine knowing that the earth is round, yet everyone else insisting that the world is flat. Imagine being accused of a crime you did not commit, yet everyone insisting you did. Transgender children affirm that the gender they are is opposite to the gender assigned at birth, yet everyone insists they are wrong. Is it possible that, alike Columbus's naysayers or the Duke lacrosse persecutors, that we are wrong? Could society be forcing a child to live as something they are not? Who's to say that we are right? No man knows the inner workings of the brain and gender assignment in the womb. How is our need to be right affecting these children emotionally and socially? How is it affecting the lives of transgender children? Can a child live a full, happy life, living only as far as society allows them to? No, they cannot. Research shows that when forced to conform, transgender children commit suicide. On the other hand, when they live as the gender their brains tell them they are exiled from their families, ostracized by society, and are constant victims of violence. The only open arms that these children generally receive are that of a lonely shelter and random foster homes. This is wrong. Transgender children are still children. A child needs to be loved. A child needs to be supported to be able to live as their true self. If a mishap occurred in the womb and a child knows that she is a girl, she affirms that she is a girl and lives as a girl, she should be able to do all the little things little girls do. In the case of Bobby Montoya, we are faced with a transgender boy asking not to be judged, but instead to have the opportunity to discover the fun and friendship and the power of girls together. As defined by the Girl Scouts, scouting builds girls of courage, confidence, and character who make the world a better place. Actually, every child should have the opportunity to accomplish this. But instead of encouraging this growth, society rejects trans children over and over again. We have insisted that they forget what they feel in their heart and in their soul and live a lie. This is not a solution. Stop the mistreatment of transgender children. It's time to stand up against oppression and discrimination of our youngest, most defenseless member of society, our children. It's time to dry the eyes of our children, listen to these children, and help to heal these children. It's time to approve more complete ways of working that's able to bring both sexual health and an effective start in life for transgender children. If this means opening up the Scouts to all children, then allow it. If this means having a talk with your own children, we must do it. If this means having compassion, why aren't we already doing it? Matthew 19, verse 14 says, "Suffer the little children to come unto me, and do not hinder them, for the kingdom of God belongs to them." It does not say, "Suffer the heterosexual children to come unto me."